Is that coming in hot?
No, I think it's
Coming in hot.
Well, whoa, Ben,
Evan. Long time no see.
where have we been, or where have you been?
I've
pun
been
intended.
here. You were on the road last week at Equip Expo 2022.
I was, and I am so happy that I planned it out with the weather to actually go down.
Actually, yeah, the weather. That's a good point. So you went down, and it was really lousy. At least the first 3 days that you were down. It actually snowed one of the days.
Yeah, I think my mom and my wife, they sent me videos and pictures of it actually snowing. I'm like, man, I timed this out well. Now, you had good reasons you couldn't go, so I tried to recruit ours truly, Uncle Greg.
This is great.
Hello, this is Greg.
He came to the rationale, quote unquote, he said, no, I need to stay home and make some money. And I said, Greg, I'm no meteorologist. These guys are usually wrong, but I check the forecast all the time. Looks like we're going to have 3 bad days of weather. And he said, you'll probably be wrong. So fast forward to the last day of Equip. I get a text from Greg. Oh, you were right. I should have went down. I got 2 hours of mowing in this week. And that was basically it. So
Yeah, and then you came back and the
Awesome.
weather changed. It got to
It did.
back in the 70s.
yeah, I think Greg must have just hit the reset switch. Well, he actually did tell me this. So he had mowed a lawn on Monday that he was supposed. Apparently, he sent me a text the other day. He mowed a lawn on Friday that he normally mows on Monday, and then he mowed it this past Monday. And the client came outside and got really mad at him. He's like, "Oh, you come every 3 days?" And Greg's like, "This is my last cut." But Greg sent me that text the other day, which is pretty funny. But I think Greg's going to want to come to Equip 2 next year, and you'll be able to for a day or so.
You know, I would like to go for the opening night and then to walk the show, for one whole day. Beyond that, though, I think my use there is probably not much after one day.
Yeah, I think for the average person, so Ben's kind of in the lawn biz, not really. We don't really disclose no one will ever know what Ben truly does. But anyways, guys, so you could probably do, in all honesty, you could do the whole show in one day, but that'd be hardcore, 12 to 5, going through everything. I'm glad I separated that into basically, 3 days? Because we got there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, part of Friday. But you could really almost do it, as you said, probably all in one day.
Unless we had a bunch of interviews lined up or something like that, or
Yeah.
doing some podcasts while down there.
Sure.
I would see myself going down for if it was the same days next year, Tuesday night, opening night, and then
I think it
all
is the
day
same
Wednesday.
days. Yeah, I think it's the same days. I would like to try to fly, but then we were talking about that tonight as we were getting our podcast dinner we went to Park Place.
Park Place Gastropub in downtown Plymouth, Michigan.
Now, what are they famous for, Ben? Or what do they got? What's their kind of flagship?
So a couple things. One is the 2 a.m. burger, which is a burger with an egg on it. With the buns are 2 glazed donuts, and it is excellent with a
Making
little
me
bit of
hungry
maple
again.
syrup on it,
Oh yeah,
bacon.
I had gotten the double 2 a.m. You got the single, and then
Then the other thing that they're known for, at least in our book,
yeah.
is the tachos, which are
Oh, they're
tater
good.
tot nachos.
I could probably eat those every day. They're just golden crisp tater tot nachos. We had chicken on there, some pinto beans, sour cream, cheese, you name it. It for a decent price. Well, funny.
Prices went up though since the last
We've been
time
going
we were
there for a while. I think prices have actually gone up a lot there from when we started going 5 years ago.
It was more than one of these subtle, 4 or 5% increases. This was a pretty sizable increase.
Yeah, it's like $15 for a burger that really wasn't very much bigger than yours. I mean,
Not really.
am I right? So
And we will say that their staffing is down, so it takes a little bit longer. We're waiting
Yes.
around,
problem with Bidenomics, guys. to
pay the check at the end, but still overall a good experience.
We had a good dinner. We caught up what we would talk about tonight here on the kind of the Expo recap.
Hey, before I
Debrief
forget
podcast
about Expo, shout out
Yes.
to Tony's Lawn Care.
Tony.
I know you were there, and I know you got to actually meet Tony. So tell us a little bit about Tony from Buckhead, Georgia.
Yeah, it's Buckhead. I was the Chad that thought he was from Savannah. I'm like, he's from Savannah. No, he's actually from Buckhead, which is just a suburb of
Atlanta.
good old ATL. But Tony, it was great to see him. So this will kind of segue in pretty nice. So I got up Tuesday morning, hit the road, 8:30, got Chick-fil-A, got down there a little after 1:30, set up my battle station, went to the welcome night reception night at Louisville Slugger Field. People were just walking around. Husqvarna was raffling off, I think, a backpack blower and a chainsaw. I tried to get that. One inside. There's people inside there. They had drinks. I saw Sean and Savannah Spencer, so I talked to Sean briefly. Fast forward to the next morning, the opening keynote speaker,
David Faherty.
which this guy, guys, let me tell you, I'm not sure. He's a really funny guy, but I'm not sure he even knew like what he was going to talk about or where he was.
Did it have anything to do with lawn care?
A little bit. I did not know he was Scottish, right? No, he's Irish. No,
Yeah, he's Scottish. Yeah.
So he's
if you're not familiar with David Faherty, he's a golf announcer. He also has his own TV show on the Golf Channel, I believe. He's a pretty funny guy.
I think he's actually pretty conservative though too.
He
because
is. That's gotten him into some trouble over the years.
That's what he said. He goes, I've got myself into a lot of controversy. But anyway, so he just told a whole bunch of random stories. And Tony and his lovely wife, Emily, they walked in about halfway through his, I guess, opening keynote, whatever it was. Okay, hilarious stories. One story that he told was, I don't quite remember the context, but David told he was golfing with one of his friends, and his friends like sharted his pants, and they had there was a big kind of fiasco about him getting pants, but he didn't get the right. He purchased pants. He purchased a sweatshirt, and it was just. But Tony walked in through that and immediately saw me, so we gave each other like the bro bump, and then we both parted ways. That after that, until later on. That night of the day one of the expo, Tony invited me to a low key dinner with his family and some other lawn care YouTubers, and we had a really good time.
Hey, so I watched Tony's video where he drove up, and I will say, Tony, if you stop at Buc-ee's again next year,
he's not at Buc-ee's, yeah.
Buy me a few flavors of that jerky. I could spend probably an hour just going through all the different jerky there.
I didn't know I was talking to my wife about Buc-ee's. I liked this video, but I didn't really know what the appeal of it was. But then my wife said it's actually a pretty cool place.
It looked awesome. I mean, huge, and it's surprising. But
are they all like kind of in the South? Because we don't have any here in Michigan, right?
That's what I gather. I have not seen one before. Buc-ee's, yeah.
But so fast forward after the opening keynote, Dave, good guy. I mean, the guys were laughing. He captivated the audience. He really didn't. He hardly talked about cutting grass, if anything of the sort. But I think was he a decent golfer? Do you even know?
He was a professional, but I don't really know that he. Maybe in Europe he won events, but I don't recall him winning events over here. But he's been on the broadcast in the U.S. for
a while,
probably close to 20 years.
Holy smokes! That's what Greg would say. Some of Greg's catchphrases, guys, are "Holy smokes!" and "Really?" and "Oh." Anyways, so opening keynote was from 11 to 12. They actually had a dealers only expo. So, go on. Yeah.
One thing though, before you got to do something cool before you even showed up at the expo, right? Didn't you go to Churchill Downs?
I forgot, guys. So my brother is a chaplain. One of the chaplains, one of them, for the Churchill Downs racetrack. They actually have a whole community behind there though too for the jockeys. They got dorms there. There's a church back there, and a lot of people. The tour was 35 minutes, and there was a lot of cool. It was cool, like even seeing the horses. Then there wasn't too many, but there was a horse that was they were giving it like a salt bath or like something like that, like a 35-degree salt bath, which is cool. And then we saw a big, cold, steamy pile of hay that was full of horse poop, and so it was it was quite the adventure. Then we saw part of the track, and then it was time. That's when I went out to the opening keynote because they, from 9 to 12, on the first day, they had a dealers only expo, which that would have almost been nice to walk the floor with not many people there because you could just hit everything in probably 2 hours and then just go home, type of thing. But so, this keynote ended, and then I waited around for 15 minutes, kind of looking like a space cadet. I didn't really know what to do. I'm like, oh.
Was this place pretty huge?
No, the Kentucky Expo Center is massive. I'm trying to equate it to Rock Financial Showplace, or
Suburban.
Is it called Suburban now?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's kind of similar, but I think Kentucky Expo Center might be bigger. I mean, the Kentucky Expo Center is actually next to a state fairground there because they right next to the center. They had like roller coasters and stuff. So it was obviously shut down because they had some cold weather going down there right now.
Isn't it
So,
actually next to the Six Flags?
is that what that is? Maybe it's
Yeah.
the Six Flags.
That's
'Cause
what I think. So, if I remember correctly, it's like a little bit south of the city, and like
That's what it
where
is.
kind of the expressway turns or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hit
It's
the nail on the head. So that's probably a Six Flags. So, anyways, 12 o'clock rolls around. Got my camera set. The doors open there for the expo, and oh man, it was almost oppressive for a while. I didn't know like where to go or what to do. There was just so
It's like
many mowers galore.
overload, sensory overload on mowers.
Yeah, guys, every like sort of mower you ever wanted to see or every brand was there. And I really, for my YouTube videos, like vlogs, I don't vlog, guys, so I gave it a shot. I really tried to just kind of hit everything because there's other lawn care YouTubers. They only hit certain stuff, but I'm like, no, let's hit the grasshopper mowers for the grasshopper guys, or the the Dixie choppers or the hustlers or the bad boys, Gravely mowers, and random things like on day 2 I had kind of hit more obscure things like here's some more power tools, some excavators, some some paving stuff, some this cool equipment, like here's some ladders, some like just a bunch of random things for you. I really tried to give it a full 360, but I would encourage anyone, not even in lawn care, if you're a hardscaper, whatever you do that involves your hand with equipment, you will have a place at Equip Expo. It was awesome.
Snow removal too. They had plows and things like that, right?
And a ton of plows. They had Boss plow. They had everything that you could imagine. Everything under the sun was in that one spot. And I was telling some people, you didn't find it funny, but other lawn clients, I'm like, yeah, I'm going down for a lawn care expo. They're like, lawn care expo? What's that? I'm like, oh, you haven't seen nothing. Until you get your butt down there, it was actually really, really impressive. I mean, that was unbelievable.
So was it packed? Was there like a lot of people shoulder to shoulder, or how was the crowd?
Now, they were claiming there's over 20,000 people there. I had thought it was more busier on day 2 than it was day 1. I think some guys only came for one day, but most of the lawn care YouTubers, they came for all the days. So that's what I kind of did too. But looking back at it, I would probably have paced myself more. I mean, you're constantly walking on your feet, and that's just the inside. They had a whole 30 acres of outside area to actually demo any machine you could even imagine. And you can see that there in the vlogs that I did. It was kind of funny seeing people trying to demo some of this stuff. Because, man, they literally had, not saying I'm a pro, but some people, either they don't know how to ride mowers or they were driving these mowers like they were go-karts, literally.
And some of those new mowers look almost like go-karts.
Well, they do, especially the new stills. They kind of look like go-karts, which I kind of want to demo one and do a YouTube video for that, but still may have just give me the shaft. So, or stiff arm, like Jerome Bettis just kind of plowed through me when I asked an innocent question. I said, hey, Still, I would love to demo your stand-on mower, 50 to 100 hours, give you a great positive review video. It would drive some sales. I'm not looking for anything free from them, but I kind of got a generic response, so I might have to go back to them again. But anyways, people didn't. Driving some of these mowers, people are doing like 360 donuts with them. I'm like, this is not how you ride a mower. You burn up the hydros going like that. And then seeing some of the guys use the power equipment and excavators, things like that. It was pretty funny, but I mean, I didn't really demo anything because I was just by myself, and maybe my wife will come with me next year too. Not entirely sure, but hopefully you will definitely be there so I can have a cameraman. That's kind of what I want to get Greg to come down, because Greg can talk to anyone, but like, Greg, hold the camera for me, like while I demo something. But no, he was too busy not mowing up here. So
like at these different booths, were they offering deals? Like if you bought something at the expo or anything like that? Any high pressure sales tactics going on anywhere?
Not a whole lot. They had some booths. So I went to this one booth. Okay, so some booths had expo only deals, like save $50 on this and that. One booth, I don't know the company, but they're from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can look it up on my first day vlog. They had blade sharpeners, which they range anywhere from $1,600 to $2,200, and they had some deals where it's like save $200 off of the sharpener if you bought today. But I don't think many booths were actually selling, hand or power tools. Like Still had a big area. It was almost like a store inside the expo, but I think it was all on display. I saw no one buy anything to take anything home. Quote me on this, guys. I could be wrong. In the comments, did any of you guys take anything home. I mean, I don't think like anyone made any big purchases there, like for hand tools and stuff, but they did have some Expo deal specials on some of the booths. I remember seeing it. I just couldn't pinpoint anything exactly because there was almost too much stuff there. It was literally unbelievable. I'm like, whoa, I don't know how I was like, bro, how am I going to cover this? I'm like, I don't even know where to go. So,
And apparently there are a lot of freebies because I see a Cub Cadet hat.
there we go, guys. A Cub Cadet
And,
commercial series hat.
An Echo Whip It Good t-shirt. And I'm assuming you got even more than that.
So yeah, Echo, they were printing out T-shirts, and you could have chosen. Wow, my wife's going to butcher me for some of my English and grammar. What country am I from? Anyways, could have chose from 3 different designs, and it could have been like an orange shirt, a pink shirt, or sorry, I had a burp there, or a white shirt. And so went in that line, got my free shirt. They had a free Echo hat outside when you actually demoed. So with Echo, you get a nice free hat, but you had to demo 5 of their power tools. So I did a backpack blower and some battery powered stuff, which that was fun. Cub Cadet gave me a hat. I got a hat from Toro. I got one from Buyers Select, the guys that manufactured like the dumper dog inserts. I think it's called Buyers. Where else did I get a hat? Man, I'm losing track of my hats. I got some other hats here that I'm just drawing a blank on, but got a free shirt from Milwaukee Power Tools too. That was cool. They're basically they were handing out free hats and shirts everywhere, and you guys had to take advantage. Still, they had a really nice hat. You had to wait in this long line and then fill out a form saying you would like to be contacted. And so people just filled it out just to basically unsubscribe, like right after. But hey, I'll talk to Still, calling out Still.
Yeah.
You want an honest video of your product. I'm not naming any lawn care YouTubers. I like basically all of these guys, but I want a video that shows the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I probably won't ugly review you if you let me demo your mower. I can drive you sales, just throwing it out there. So,
okay, the last couple minutes, What did you see where you thought, now that's something that I want to have. I'd like to get that next year. Or is there anything that really grabbed you that you thought that's a piece of equipment I'd really like?
Yeah, so my buddies got it, but they recently picked up the Toro Multiforce. It's a Toro Grandstand Multiforce. So it's a mower that can basically do everything. It can mow, it can do mulch, it can carry mulch, it can plow snow. You name it, it can do it. With the attachments that I want for it, it'll cost me probably about around $19,000. So I might have to get rid of some equipment, sell some equipment next year to get that. But Toro, I'm very impressed with the Toro Multiforce Cub Cadet. Cub Cadet really didn't have anything new there. I kind of thought Cub Cadet not really knocking your show floor compared to our name brand Exmark and Toro. It really wasn't that impressive as Exmark or Toro. I actually was impressed by Spartan mowers. There's some brand and their mowers are kind of designed like a Spartan. There's Gravely, Aaron's, Bad Boy mowers, Hustler. So, excuse me, I was impressed with at least the aesthetics of these booths, but I don't really use those other mower brands. Our mower brands that we kind of use here in Michigan that deal is just, really just Exmark and Toro, Cub Cadet. I think out in Plymouth, there's this place called Pace Industries, and they do deal Skag mowers and they deal Wright mowers as well, and Billy Goat products as well. Oh yeah, one thing that really caught my eye, which will be in for a future video of Evan's top 5 takeaway of the expo. They had this stand-on blower called the Buffalo Turbine. This thing makes the Billy Goat stand-on blowers look like puny pieces of crap.
Oh wow,
Billy Goat has good products, but this thing is. Don't quote me on it. Check it there on my first day video, guys. I think it's over 40 horsepower stand-on blower. It was so powerful, you could have the blower shooting straight up, and it could balance a basketball like 4 feet in the air.
Wow.
Which I wouldn't need that blower. Stand-on blowers are meant for guys that have commercial lots or acreage, but it would be cool to demo it. That's just me being selfish. Yeah, want to demo it.
So on the videos, on the E&D Lawn Care YouTube channel, we got opening day. You have about
opening night, welcome reception,
5 or 7 minute video.
5-7 minutes.
First day, you have about a 30-minute video. A lot of good stuff on that one.
Yeah.
Second full day, we got like a 55-minute video.
55, almost an hour. And I think people are actually watching that too. So, and then,
there's so much good stuff on it. And then the last day you were there, you did a feature on the Still line.
Yeah, right? I just did a feature on the last day of the Still. Like I was kind of like, almost disheartened, despondent, and like tired. I don't really know where to go. Still is releasing a new mower line, which those guys, shout out to Still again. I hope you guys like listen to this. They were saying a Still mower is basically just a Ferris mower painted orange and white, which Briggs and Stratton manufactures Ferris, and they all look the same. I'm not knocking them, just saying. But so that video was cool. I was just trying to kind of talk to reps and get normal people demoing the mowers, but everyone that was demoing it was driving it like they stole it. Like I'm like, this is not an ATV. It's not a quad, which they actually had quads there. Like they had all terrain vehicles on the other side. I didn't really demo that because it was on a separate track and these people were flying and going fast and really didn't get that. But I really tried to just get cover everything, and I think I did a pretty good job. We're getting a lot of good feedback on YouTube. So
yeah,
big time.
Good stuff out there. Check out the E&D Lawn Care YouTube channel.
Subscribe if you haven't. So.
And you're going to put together one on the 5 coolest things that you saw at the expo.
Yep, we've been talking about that. We have a good plan of attack, so hopefully that will generate some more views and create some controversy to boost the algorithm. We love to hear good feedback. So
yeah, and we got some good things coming on the podcast too. We're still hoping to get a local weatherman.
He'll be on.
We've got a landscape guy that we're going to bring on who he's got a pretty good following, right?
He does. He got some prominence around here, and I think you really like how he envisions things. So
there you go.
There you go.
And we got some other ideas on some good guests.
I mean, I talked to Sean Spencer. He's the most genuine guy you would ever meet, guys. I'm trying to get him on the podcast. Never got a chance to directly tell him that we host a lawn care podcast because Sean was so busy, and he's so great. He's just it's cliche. He's down to earth. What's another name for or phrase for down to earth? Real, authentic,
humble,
super humble. He will take any time. He took 10 minutes out of the expo, and people were vying to talk to him. We just shot the breeze about mowing in life, and I was about to tee him up for a podcast, and then he got pulled away, which is fine. Sean Spencer, if you somehow do listen all the way through, I don't even know if you listen, probably don't. Love to get you on the pod. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And one of these days we got to get Tony on the pod.
Oh, well, yeah, Tony's first. So I had already talked to Tony. Tony will be coming on before Sean because Sean might never come on. But if Sean never comes on, well, I would love to have Tony on more than once. I was trying to con Tony and do a weekly thing, and he goes, "Man, I don't think I can do a weekly thing, but probably once every other week or like a once a month thing." So Tony's great, a godly man, great family. Cute kids, drove with the whole family down. They drove over 8 hours, which let's give Tony a little round of applause for that, though, guys.
And of course, we have our time with Uncle Greg.
Hello, this is Greg.
Not this week, but we will get it back to you soon.
Not this week, but next week. Greg is on a weekly timeout from our segment because he dropped the ball with not coming to equip. Of course, we're just messing around with Greg because Greg's awesome. So
yeah, we love Uncle Greg.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to get off your chest before we wrap it up?
That's basically it. I think we went through all the hard hitters. I really felt like we delivered a good expo recap and kind of a debrief, and we'll do the top 5. What do we want to call the next video? Like Evan's top 5 takeaways from equip?
Something like that. Evan's top 5 head turners. Something like,
that'd be a good leveler, right? So,
yeah.
Big time. We're
dropping Kyle Thompson references here.
Another podcast to check out, guys. Before we leave, Mike Gunn, he's got a podcast. I got not interviewed. I was on one of his podcasts when we went on Thursday night. They had a rally. So Mike Gunn has a podcast. He lives out in Indiana. I think it's called, let me pull it up just so I get the name right because I would hate to botch a name and I want people to go check it out. It is called Lawn Care Community with Mike Gunn. I think he does things, I think it's more on the landscape end, but I was on their podcast, guys. Check it out. He's great. Just giving a shout out to him because I know I miss people, but yeah. So also back to what we were talking about, listen to Undaunted Life by Kyle Thompson.
Yeah. Excellent show.
Solid show. Godly man. Good wisdom though too. We tried to get him on, but he basically gave us the stiff arm until we got bigger, whatever that means. So Kyle, we're calling you out. We still want you on the show. Get on.
Yeah, and if you haven't yet, go over to E&D Lawn Care YouTube channel, subscribe, and watch some of those clips from the Equip Expo.
That'd be great. Guys, thank you.
Have a good week.